Coffee.
Coffee. Hi.
Oh, my hair is not parted at all.
It's a good way to find out. Yeah, I'm gonna just look in here. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you need to raise that camera. What is going on?
With your hair?
Yes.
It gave up.
I can't even help.
It's fine. Good morning, grandchildren. Welcome to Tuesday. Yeah,
Hi, Sakes.
I'm just gonna do this.
Come here.
Does that fix anything?
I don't know.
Makes me feel better. Eventually, I'll get everything adjusted.
Oh, Sagan.
I'm going to have to, yeah, there's gonna...
No, he has a keyboard. Stay here.
I'll move it over here. I love him.
Oh,
I love
him.
him. I love him also, and he clearly loves me. Hi, buddy. Just don't put your tail in my jam. So one of the things I'm gonna try and do this week is,
We're doing it Friday. I've decided.
What are we doing Friday?
Fixing the TV.
Oh. Yeah, sure. That's not what I was talking about,
Oh, okay.
but it's related. Yeah. I was talking last cats. I was talking last Friday about how I'm gonna have to update OBS, and with that, I'm going to have to probably like remake a lot of stuff from scratch because I just expect things to break. But that's okay. I'll do that. That'll get done. So you know, hooray. That's why the framing is a little weird. Camera's a little bit lower than it normally is, but it's fine. Chaz may kill you. Well,
He's
not
in town.
Chaz isn't here right now. Take that, Chaz.
I mean, he does have internet. Maybe he's just going to bed.
Well, he's on the other side of the world,
I know.
so like, yeah, he's probably asleep or going to sleep. Chaz can't hear us right now, so mods are away post talks. So how is everyone doing today? As we creep into the
Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like we creep into the latter half of November, a reminder that this year is actually almost over, which is bizarre. Because things have been pretty good on our end. It does go too fast, agreed. And Thanksgiving will be here very, very... Is it next week?
Yeah.
Next week.
It's a week from this Thursday.
Yeah.
And I have to get stuff to make pie.
That's
And we're
exciting.
having people over, so I need to make extra pie.
Okay. That's fine.
It's gonna be like 2 days of pie making.
And I mean, like, we'll get there. Like, Thanksgiving is always a really exciting time for me because it's a very overt family celebration. And, like, it's not that I don't see my family throughout the year because, like, we live close. And there's a lot of times, it's not even on the vlog, where, like, we'll have dinner with them or something. But there's something different about, like a family meal. Because there's always raisins in my toast. Because Mom always serves it that way. It's 1400 bits from Mike, who says, "Are you excited for Thanksgiving next Thursday?" Mike, I am. I am excited about Thanksgiving next Thursday. And, what happened to my... Oh, it got
What'd you do?
I think when I changed the alerts, it broke all the functionality that I had set up. Well, whatever. It'll be fine. Yeah, I really like Thanksgiving because of that. Like, Thanksgiving and Christmas and then Easter are probably like the three, like, oh, I'm sitting down, all we're doing is having a meal and just talking. A lot of times the dinner is long over and we'll still be there and just chatting. And I know. I really look forward to that. Like, even though we live close to my parents and we see them a lot, it's a different feeling, and I think a lot of other people get to relate to that as well because, you know, they might be in a situation where they live far away, but they may go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and they get to enjoy that experiences also. But it's different. It's different, and I like it. Herb says, "Isn't that what you do at breakfast stream? Have a meal and talk?" I mean, technically, it's a little different than Thanksgiving. I remember growing up as a young boy.
Thomas is hosting Thanksgiving. You got this. Just do things ahead of time. There's a lot you can do ahead of time.
You're hosting Thanksgiving for your family?
Not at my house.
Oh.
Thomas giving.
And you know...
Oh, I gotta do sweet potatoes, unless your mom's gonna do the sweet potatoes.
We've actually had a,
going to Brittany's house and then making it.
We've actually thrown around the idea for a long time about doing, and it doesn't have to be on Thanksgiving, but doing a Friendsgiving meal.
Yeah.
Where we actually do one of those huge dinners, make everything, but it's just, you know, all of our friends. I'd love to do that at some point. I don't know exactly when we would do it.
Oh, that's paint on my slide. It's burnt sienna.
But I love the idea.
Yeah,
I love
mean,
the
we
idea.
could do it during ChefCon and just plan a meal like that. That's those types of foods.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but you know.
Coffee.
Anyway. Sorry, I'm still.
Eating. Can you
This
scroll
means
up?
eating, huh?
Can you scroll up? Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind.
It's okay. It's early.
I know.
Let me read some of these alerts here. But before I do, I wanted to say I'm feeling better.
From falling on the stairs?
It's true. It's true. Because I had fallen down. It was a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, I don't have any, like, sort of, from what I can
Your back
tell.
doesn't hurt?
Yeah, I don't have any, like, long-term anything. I feel like I really feel like I'm better. And I never got a bruise on my back, which was odd.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised.
Me too. But, yeah, I feel good. The only part that hurts is I think I have a bruise on my arm.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise, I'm in pretty good shape. So, Hermstead, how did you fall? If anyone missed last Thursday when we talked about it, Tuesday evening, so a week ago, I was walking down the stairs, and I got about halfway down the stairs, and the stairs are carpeted, and my foot just went out from under me. I fell down the stairs. And I was filming at the time. I had a camera in my hand, so I actually have the fall on video. It's exciting. Yeah, it wasn't fun, but I got better. The wind got knocked out of me, which is the really upsetting thing, because I was like trying to breathe. But yeah, less than a week, and I feel back to normal. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
We got subs between the scenes from It's a She, 09, Neo Umbra, Countermaster, Dalek City, M. Helgeson, 76, Dale Damien, Elio Lugario, or Lugaru, I can read, Dan Began 2. That's between the scenes. Thank you all. Appreciate that.
Is his foot visible?
Not anymore. We were having fun with little kitty foot. This morning we've got 300 bits from Paint Shipper, who says, "Good morning, grandparents." Good morning, Paint Shipper. Hope your Tuesday morning's going pretty good. Ours is going pretty good. Mostly because this is the first morning, well, the first like complete like 24 hours since we got back from China, where we've been very strict on the schedule.
Yes.
We've been keeping to the bed times and the wake up times pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff in the middle, like the work blocks, we haven't done a great job on. And then yesterday was the first day where we were like,
do it.
Get back on it, fix this, and we did, and it feels good. So I'm feeling particularly good, like particularly productive.
I couldn't sleep last night, but otherwise, yeah.
Can't help you there. I slept like a rock.
I'll have second coffee.
Second coffee. Got a sub from Ammon, Iowa. Iowa, thank you. 300 bits from Mike Bliss, who says, Stephen, you forgot to change the alerts to breakfast theme, and can't you believe Thanksgiving is next Thursday morning? I did change them back. They should be working now. The alert should be...
Yeah, I've heard coffee.
I was downstairs, and I heard...
toast.
And I heard a Mario sound effect. And I was like... And instantly my brain was like, you didn't change those back. And I'm like, cool. So I ran upstairs and changed them. So at the very, very beginning during the pre-show, during the countdown, you may have heard some Mario things. And I was like, that's not right. That's incorrect. We got 14 months from Coffee Cats. Coffee Cats, thank you. 13 months from Cybe, who says, morning, grandparents. Hope everything's going well. Pretty good, Cybe. Yep. Can't complain. 4 months from GamerFox42. Wow, 4 months. Just wanted to say I've been really enjoying the Let's Plays of Link's Awakening and Super Mario Sunshine. Well, thank you. They've been fun to do. I mean, Link's Awakening, obviously, I guess, is done because we did that one live.
Yeah.
Super Mario Sunshine, we're still working through, and it's really gotten to the point where, like, I'm just comfortable again. I really am. Like, I feel, in fact, I would go as far as say is I feel good at the game. Like, I'm not a speedrunner, but I feel comfortable enough that I can do the things. And the blue coins have not been hard at all. Like, people had really hyped up the blue coins as being like, that we were gonna really hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fine. I mean, we have a guide, obviously. If you didn't have a guide, I would...
Oh, yeah.
If I didn't have a guide, I wouldn't do it.
Spray the top of this one palm tree. Like...
Some of them are very obscure. Some of them are like, you need to get Yoshi, and you need to load him up with juice, and you gotta spray the beehive, and then when it falls, there's gonna be 10 bees, and you gotta eat all the bees. And that's a little, like... But as far as, like actually getting them... There's episodes getting ready to come out this weekend, and I'm like, blue coin, like there's a lot of blue coins I'm gonna get. A raisin toast at the Waffle House. It was 1,500 bits from Mike, who says, I just got done doing a Let's Play of NASCAR Heat 4 Career Mode on Xbox One. I'm looking forward to downloading the November DLC pack for NASCAR Heat 4 today. Very cool. I haven't played a NASCAR game since the original Xbox. Mm-hmm. When the original Xbox had first come out, like not too long ago. There's a lot of toast today. When the original Xbox came out, we always used to get together with a bunch of people and play Halo. Like, LAN parties were just the thing. Everyone on PCs, like, we were doing that a long time ago. But that's when I got into it, was doing it on console. And Austin had this NASCAR game. And I remember very vividly doing, like, the Daytona 500. Yeah. And it's 500 laps.
Yeah.
Did you know that's why they call it the Daytona 500?
Yes.
Do you know how long it takes?
Yes. I watched it with my dad growing up. Oh, it's 500 miles.
Everyone's like, you're both wrong.
I was like in middle school. I can't remember. I haven't watched a race in a very long time.
I just assumed it was 500 laps because that's how long it felt.
I want to go to Darlington sometime with Lindsay. Because it's like right here.
I mean, we are really close to it.
I know.
Anyway, it's really hard because you have to, like, drive the car for that long.
Yes, that's part of it.
Yeah, but even in a video game form, I'm sure it's harder as a real driver because you gotta, like...
Yeah.
And you could die.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier on Xbox. You get the big giant Xbox controller, and you're just like...
Dude, yeah.
I just have very vivid memories of playing that. But I haven't played a NASCAR game since then. The last racing game that really stuck out in my mind, hallelujah, was The Crew.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as a racing game. Just drive across the U.S. and see the world. I got 11 months up from Zach Chillman. So camp, Come On To Me, was really fun. I got dickered, Canadian for drunk, and did lots of work. Currently job searching, still enjoying the streams. Next month is a year 2, so let's party. Let's party. In a month.
Was that you or the cat?
That was the cat. You okay? You got a little indigestion? He's excited to party too.
He's asleep.
It looks like he's already done his partying.
He's getting his rest before the party.
I see. Zach, thanks. We got 300 bits from Yo Schiller. No message.
Yo Schiller's here.
Yo Schiller, thank you. And good morning to you. I hope your toast is extra crispy, just like you like it. I don't know any of that information, but I'm projecting. 300 bits from Mike, who says, will you change the alerts next Thursday morning for Thanksgiving? Maybe. I don't want to make a promise because things are a little crazy around here.
Yeah.
But I might at the very least change one. That could be easy and fun. But we didn't do Thanksgiving alerts last year, right?
No.
I was gonna say, because if they're already in there, then yeah, sure, I'll click a button. But changing the entirety of the alerts like I did for like Halloween is really time consuming. Yo Schiller says, if I eat dry toast just on its own, then yes, I do prefer it to be extra crispy. Because otherwise, if toast isn't crispy, what is it? Bread?
I prefer it that way.
Then you don't like toast.
The roof of my mouth, like if I have a sandwich and the sandwich has been toasted and it's on regular bread, it cuts up the top of my mouth real bad.
Are you eating shards of glass?
That's how it feels. Like the roof of my mouth gets all cut up.
You're doing something wrong.
Spiffle has the same problem. Franklin Frog does too.
You should not be cutting your mouth eating toast.
Well, when you're eating it as a sandwich...
It's not Captain Crunch. It's a different thing. Thomas says, "Mal, you gotta eat some rocks to toughen up your mouth." I'm just saying, if the toast, air quotes here, that you like is soft, is it not just bread?
I prefer it to be bread.
So yeah, that's where I'm getting to the heart of the matter here.
Because it cuts up the roof of my mouth, and sometimes like under my tongue a little bit, like right by my teeth.
What's happening?
Like
this is insane
not like way
to me.
back, like just like right along my teeth.
So I do understand that like everybody physiologically is like different, genetics, whatever. Like you could have a thing where you know how people like bruise easily? Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a thing where like your mouth gets cut up easily. Like the skin and stuff inside of your mouth is just very thin. But that's still bizarre. Like, I've heard of people cutting their mouth with different foods. Toast is not one of them.
There's a restaurant here called, something Toast. I want to go to with you, by the way.
Something
the
Toast?
Toastery? Famous Toastery?
We've eaten there.
We have?
Yes.
Was that the place in Charlotte?
Yes.
Okay, there's one in Carolina Forest.
We gotta go to this place. I'm like, we did. That was the day that I ate huevos rancheros.
Okay.
And you were like, Steven, don't eat huevos rancheros. We have to drive 4 hours home. And I did. And turns out I shouldn't have eaten huevos rancheros.
I'm trying to find a picture that I saw that was like the amount of, like it was like different toasts. Kind of like this, but huge.
The amount of coffee is funny. We got 12 months sub.
I can't find it.
From Gibnibs. Thank you, Gibnibs, for an entire year. 500 bits from Jam, who says, Half-Life Alyx announcement thoughts. It's not quite the Half-Life 3 in name, which will unlock new Nintendo Plays Minecraft episodes that have been foretold. But sounds interesting. Details on Thursday from Valve. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. Everyone saw that, right? And if so, I feel almost bad that Breakfast Stream is how you're going to find out about this. But the new Half-Life game was announced, and you are free to ask, what year is it? But yeah, new Half-Life game announced. So first off, thank you, Master Magician. Hell has frozen over. Hell has frozen over. So I'm gonna give a little thoughts on this because it's a huge deal. When I saw it, I was on Twitter, and on the side it does a little trending thing, and it was like Half-Life, and I was like, I'm sorry, why is Half-Life trending? And I clicked it, and it's, Valve making the announcement, and I'm like, this is crazy. And I think the thing that is surprising is not that Valve is making a Half-Life game. The thing that's surprising is that Valve is making a game.
Yeah.
I think, and this is sad too, because especially I've been going through old files, old data and stuff, and seeing things like video, Q&As and stuff like that, where I had been asked about like my favorite game companies, and Valve was always near the top of that. I just loved Valve stuff, and if you were to ask me today, Valve would never even come to mind because they haven't made a game in forever.
I agree.
Like they made Dota 2. When was that? Like 5 years ago or more or something? And like that's it. What did they make more recently than
Dota 2?
Dota 2. I don't know. They might have. Then like they made The Lab, but like nothing that I would. Artifact. See, I don't even heard of Artifact. What is Artifact? Is it a card game? I don't know. Anyway, the sad music's appropriate for this. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's a card game. Yeah. Yeah. And like that's a game that I'm sure lots of people enjoy, so that's good. But when I think of, Valve making games, I think of first-person shooters. Yeah. Or first-person whatever Portal is. So.
You're shooting portals from a gun.
Yeah, it's first person.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like this has been going on for a long time, so to see that we're making a game is really interesting. But there's a video I watched yesterday, and if anyone is truly interested in Half-Life, truly interested in this story, and they want to know more before Thursday, there's a video that the Valve News Network put out last month, and the person has been compiling changes to the source engine for the last 4 years. And it's so interesting. Yeah. Did you end up watching it?
I watched the first few minutes, and then I was like, I'm done painting. I'm going to go to bed.
Okay, Jam saw it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's search Valve News Network. Watch this video if you want to learn more about this. Because so many of the games that Valve make, they all use the same data because the engine is the same. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're making incremental updates to the engine that gets seen in other games. Mm-hmm. So this person has been data mining for years on the engine and has like pulled out all of these little things. And like Jan points out, he has people inside Valve he knows too. So it's this like 15-minute video that goes in depth about what's going to be in the game. And it's super interesting because it was last month that he released this and said, like, this year there will be a trailer that will be released several months before the game comes out because they're trying to hype this up so they can sell, the index. Yeah. And it's super interesting. So like if you're not super into Half-Life, just wait for Thursday. They're going to be talking about it. If you want to know before Thursday, it's really remarkable how much is right. Like, how much was called. So, yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. And everything the guide says makes sense, too. Like, Valve maybe has been quiet for this long period of time because they've been really working hard on everything that's about to happen. And maybe Valve is not as dead as we think.
I hope so.
Like, maybe Valve is going very, very hard into VR, into the VR market, in a way that we just don't understand yet. So, seriously, highly recommend, checking that out. And I see Jam tried to post the link. Jam, you might be able to send the link to
Brandon
or Brandon's. Okay, yeah. So if anyone wants to watch that video, thanks, Brandon. But it's like 15 minutes. It's well worth your time if you're interested in that sort of thing. I'm gonna go ahead and run the beans. Hopefully the beans are still rolling. They working? Yeah, they're working.
Oh, Sagan, come over here.
I saw people have been clamoring for beans for a bit.
I know.
You're getting beans a few minutes early. We normally aim for like 9:30. But there's a lot of beans. So you can have the beans. You can have the beans. Patreon.com/StephenGeorge or MauMakes. We appreciate the support over there. Let's read...
Did you see This Is Doing Better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Much better.
Oh, yeah. Mal's...
Because that was Friday, and this is Tuesday.
Yeah, Mal got the stitches out Friday, and it's looking really good.
I think there might be a stitch in there still.
Well.
It wouldn't be much. Maybe my body will just push it out.
JSD said, what if everyone beamed at 9:05? Well, there was a week...
There was one day, it was like right away.
Yeah, a week or two ago that everyone did, actually. And I was like, alright. Fine. I think chat just really wanted to see if we would do it.
Yeah.
And the answer is yeah. There's not a rule. We make the rules. So if chat's like, yeah, and we want it really early, I'm like, okay. It's fine. No problem. Coffee Cats gifted a sub to The Digital Nugget, putting them at 2 months. Thank you, Coffee Cats. 1,500 bits from Mtan, who said, so in the new Pokemon game, there are items like sausages and burgers, but there are no cows or pigs in the world. Does that mean it's socially acceptable to eat some Pokemon? Even the raisins could be Pokemon. The raisin toast is Pokemon! I mean, that was something that I remember thinking about as a kid, and specifically is referenced in the Pokemon anime, because in the anime, in one of the season 1 things, I remember there's like Magikarp prepared or something.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So
I also watch Digimon, so.
Yeah. So it definitely happens. I think what's really brought that back to light in my mind is that since we've been playing
Pixelmon.
Mm-hmm. In the first episode of Pixelmon, we, fight a Pokemon and then it's dead and it's like you have its meat and its skin and I'm like, put it in my bag. And it's a good reminder. Like, if you go out in the Pokemon anime, that's like they go out and they fight a Pokemon in the wild, they're capturing it. But when you play the game and you just go through Route 9 and you just slaughter everything and you're not catching it, what do those Pokemon do? They're probably dead. Because the Pokemon gets their health back by taking them to a Pokemon Center. So I imagine that there's some serious issues in the world of Pokemon. They fainted, yeah.
They fainted, but they have no Pokemon Mart to revive them.
Yeah, Pokemon Center. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, they faint, but do they ever get back? It's, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things like, it's a game. It's a game, it's a universe, it's a game, but at some point you do have to, if you're gonna really dive into this and think about things, it's like, the Pokemon are dead. The Pokemon are dead. And like, if your Pokemon lose their hit points, they're not dead.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Maybe there's. I'd like to imagine that there's like a government association that goes through the routes with they spray potion juice. Like it's a helicopter that goes over and just drops potion whatever. So all the fainted Pokemon get back up. That's what there. Canon. Got it. Done. The government comes over and just drops all the potions.
Like people spray for mosquitoes?
Yeah.
Like how the county
because
does?
none of them are dead because Pokemon can't die. That's actually more concerning. That's far more. That's troubling. I don't like that.
Coffee.
I don't like that at all. Pokemon should be able to die. First off, in the Pokemon anime, they're clearly eating them. I think that signifies death.
Okay. Move on.
I could talk. I have a lot of opinions about this. 14 months tier 2 from DNA Wheels 01 who says, cool.
Gold
Thank
toast.
you for the gold toast, DNA Wheels. You got 300 bits from Mike Bliss who says, it's 200 laps, Steven. You're forgetful. Well, I don't know if it's so much that I'm forgetful as that I just did not know. Driving the Daytona 500, I'm like, I don't know how long I'm going for. I just know that you drive for a long time. A long, long time. 6 months, double plus from Furious Kitty. Oops, almost forgot to resubscribe. Has anyone already told you that you guys are awesome? I've heard it once or twice before, but I appreciate it. We are doing our best. We are trying to make good things the best we can. 300 bits from Gold Mage, who says, so I watch Memorable Moments playlist on Shuffle to help me fall asleep, and one from a previous Extra Life I saw had me wondering, is all of Breakfast Stream just a way for you to prove to Haley that you can, in fact, make toast, even if it's not Triforce toast? You've discovered the ruse. The entire show has been dedicated to proving to Haley that I know how to make toast. That's what it's been about the entire time. But now that that's public, we can shift the show being about that to being about having toast and just talking about things. Yeah, it's all been a big secret. Butter before toaster, right? Yes. I mean, no. Wait, are you Haley? I can't tell. Anyway, yeah, that's it's been put to bed. 500 bits from Troop Captain, who says, not to bring up the impending meteor about to strike, but what are your thoughts about the FTC COPPA on marking videos for kids? You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, just happy to donate. I'll be brief about it. I'll just be really brief about it, because I've been getting tweets about it a lot, and I know. I think that's the one, if I could tweet something that was like, I know, please stop telling me, then I would, but it'd also be pointless, because inevitably people wouldn't see it, or it'd be a day or something, and then I would get even more tweets about it. That's got to be the most frustrating thing to do. Well, it happens a lot for a lot of different things. Like, it happens anytime there's any sort of big change on YouTube. I get a ton of people saying, have you heard about this? And the answer is yes. It happens on big video game news. You know, have you heard? And I got to be really careful, because
sometimes you didn't want to hear it yet. You're like trying not to get spoiled.
Yeah, because people want to know my thoughts, and like I appreciate that, but they'll ask me literally seconds after the news comes out, and if I haven't been able to see it myself, then I'm like, so yeah, that happens. But if anyone's not familiar with the things that are going on right now, quick version, very, very quick version, is that the FTC, in association with the Child's Online Privacy and Protection Act, COPPA, they have this thing called COPPA, and it's about keeping children safe online. The FTC, I want to remind everyone, is made by
the federal government.
The federal government and a room full of old white guys, and they've brought down this thing. They've brought down COPPA. Specifically, the specifics of it, how it relates to YouTube and us and all creators, is that moving forward, when you have a video, you have to tell YouTube, and this is not on YouTube, so you can't get mad at YouTube. This is an FTC thing.
They're just trying to stay in accordance with the
They're
law.
trying not to get fined.
Yeah.
They're trying not to get fined. When you have a video, you have to mark it whether it is a video for kids or not for kids. And it's not that it's acceptable for kids or not acceptable for kids. It's that the video is for kids. Like, the video's intent was for children. What is a child? The FCC's the FTC's not so clear on that. They and I've read the documents about this. It's like a child is often defined in the U.S. as someone who is 12 or under, but it could be different. Like, okay. And one of the funniest parts about this is that when you actually read the document, it makes reference to very specific examples of this, and the specific examples are like using terminology like cool and duh and whatever.
Like a 90s kid would use.
Yeah. And, well, again, this is old dudes writing this junk, right? Long story short, because I'm trying not to spend too much time on this. If you want to learn more, you can read on your own. There are penalties in place. There are penalties in place. The organization will be fining, like, not only YouTube, but like creators on a per video basis. So if you have a video that you say, no, this isn't for kids, and they see it and they say, you know, actually this is for kids, they can fine you up to $42,000 per video. And, like, will it be that high? Probably not. That would be a little insane. But they could. They have the legal right to do that. Now, you might be saying, okay, well, why don't you just mark your video as, you know, not for kids? And it's that if they decide that it was actually for kids, it was marketed towards kids, they can fine you for that. So yeah, I'm not too. I hate to sound cocky, and I'm not cocky, but like I'm not terribly worried about this. Partially because for the content that we've made, none of our stuff has ever been made for kids. This really feels like genuinely a response to, I don't know if people are familiar with like Elsa Gate and some of this really bizarre like stuff that was made for kids that was not for kids.
It was made with
children's characters
and things children like.
But it was not. It was adult in content type stuff, or really gross or whatever. So this is all, from what I understand, this is all a response to that, basically, and that's where all this grew out of. And I'm not terribly concerned about it at the moment. And it's just because I know our audience and I know our demographics and I know what our demographics have always been. And because of that, like, none of the stuff we've ever made has been overtly for kids. So that's why I'm not terribly concerned about it.
Like, it's kind of like how you say on Stephen and Friends, like, you know, mature audiences or...
Yeah.
Like, intended... Like, Stephen and Friends is meant for a bit more mature people, or...
But even
older.
But even our
regular stuff isn't meant for, like, elementary school kids.
No, and it would not be of interest to them.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons. Anyway, you can read more about it yourself. I think what will happen ultimately is that this sort of thing is not going to, depending on how strict they want to be with this and how far they want to go and how many buttons they want to push, I think things will change. Like, there will be like class action lawsuits and garbage like that, because I'm going back to this point of, like, they are an organization of old dudes,
the FTC,
that don't know what's going down and are not connected to us. And, like, I think the thing to remember is that COPPA is a thing from the government. We made that.
Yeah, it's a directive.
It's not like a humanity thing. It's not like we owe a right to humanity to like fix this, to make sure that something like COPPA is in place for children. We made this. This is a law that we made. We can change it. So, not written in humanity's history books. Okay, boomers might be the best response to the whole thing. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Call your reps and senators. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I talked about that longer than I thought I would, but that was my short version. That was my short version. Too long, didn't read. I'm not worried.
Something will probably change from where it is right now.
I would expect it.
Yeah.
Too. And it might be that people start getting fined and things start happening before that happens, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We don't owe the children anything. That's the point you take away from this. We don't owe the children anything. We've never owed the children anything. We don't owe them anything. Anyway, Cocop Crabs subscribes. Thank you, Cocop. 3 months from Wallen Hornigan, who says, Arobi, which I think is probably like emotes. But it's hard to read when it's just in text. Congrats on the plus. Got 300 bits from Furious Kitty. Says, I know you've already moved on to another topic, but cutting your mouth with a piece of toast is not unheard of. But a piece of toast stuck to your gums is worse, IMO.
Have you ever had like really, really soft bread?
Oh, it's yeet. I get you. I'm sorry, is Twinkle messing you up?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can move on.
Anyway, if you ever had really soft bread and like take a bite of it and just like the whole thing is stuck to the roof of your mouth, like a weird retainer. My grandparents bought Wonder Bread.
That happens when I have peanut butter toast.
Oh.
Brandon says, I'm gonna mark the lure. I did forget to do that one. Yeah, I've had that happen.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Or certain foods that put like a film on your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain things I could do without, but I still eat them. 300 bits from M-Tan says, Valve's Artifact card game was released in November 2018. It had less than 100 concurrent players by mid-2019, according to the Wikipedia. Say what you will about that. I mean, Valve works on what they want to work on, but, you know, it is telling. Like, maybe people are more interested in them making, you know, other games. But I never played it, so I can't really judge either.
Fossex said that Japanese sticks to the roof of their mouth.
Really?
I get that. Because I really, 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 really love fruit sandwiches from 7-Eleven in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, like, very, very soft bread. I found that the smaller bites you take, the easier it is.
Tiny ones.
I would live on those. Oh my gosh.
People are saying the monetization on Artifact was super greedy. It was pay to win. Well, then it deserves to fail. Strong opinions. 9 months, triple plus from Calyx. Thank you, Calyx. 300 bits from Troop Captain. On the topic of Pokemon, how far into the anime have you watched before you stopped watching? Season 1.
I don't think I finished it.
Season 1's like 70 episodes or something like that.
I saw maybe the first 10.
Oh. So you've seen enough to see, like, Bye Bye Butterfree.
Yes.
That's it. You've seen enough. That's all you... We watched it in college again.
I know.
We all got there and we were all crying. A bunch of grown men crying about Butterfree. 13 months from Luke 18 says, I got it! You got it! And it's 13 months. Thank you, Luca. 150 bits from Dragon Lover 9000. Thank you, Dragon Lover. 500 bits from Jam, who says, this Pokemon is passed on. It is no more. It has ceased to be. It's expired and gone to meet its maker. It's a stiff.
It's a stiff, bereft of life. It rests in peace. It's shuffled off the mortal coil. Run down the curtain. Join the Inquire Invisible. This is an X-Pokemon.
I did not pick up on the Monty Python. You did. I was starting to think that it was a reference, but I still wasn't picking it up. And I don't know what that's from. What is that from?
It's the Dead Parrot sketch. It's Monty Python.
I knew it was Monty Python based on the way it was written.
If you hadn't
Which
nailed
is-
it to the perch, it would have been pushing up daisies.
Yeah, I've seen the Dead Parrot sketch, but it's been I think probably only seen it once. Also,
I really love the fish license. That's one of my favorites.
Also, isn't it telling that how something is written,
Yeah.
you can tell where it's from? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Jam, thank you. Also, Pokemon should be able to die. 14 months. Oh, wait, they become ghosts. There are dead Pokemon! But only the ones that are eaten. Because if they faint in the field, the helicopter saved them. 14 months from Alxame, who says, just popping in to say hi to my grandparents as I rush to work. Have a great day. Thanks, Alxame.
Have a good day at work.
I hope you have a good day at work. We got 4 months from ToasterWolf99. So I hope it isn't an issue that I chose to show my family Peggy and Cindy's creation. They laughed their butts off. I mean, that's the appropriate response.
Yeah.
Also, that dog. I mean, I know the dog's name is Cindy. I'm going to always refer to the dog as Skin Dog.
Skin Dog.
It's great. It's great, and I'm really looking forward to when those VODs come out, because there's so many people that I'm sure missed it, and they're going to be like, oh, that happened. And the answer is, of course, yeah, it did. It really did. But I'm happy to report, because in years past this has been an issue, that, you know, the VOD is fine. We have all of the stuff. We did not lose any parts of Extra Life like has happened in some past years. So it's all good. It's in Dan's capable hands right now. And Dan's actually been instructed to upload everything himself to test it against Content ID before he gives it to me. So we're going to know for sure whether there will be problems. So he'll give it to me once there are definitely no problems, and then it'll go up, and we'll hopefully most of it will be seen. We might have, I think that maybe all that'll happen throughout the entirety of Extra Life is we might have to censor the cutscenes of Chicken Little. That's the thing that actually has me most worried. Disney,
Not the karaoke.
The karaoke, honestly, no. Going back and re-listening to some of the karaoke stuff, I really don't know that the music was loud enough for the Content ID to pick it up. But Dan's going to test all that. So, we'll see. But Chicken Little, Disney doesn't really like their movies posted to YouTube, as you may imagine.
You okay?
Mm-hmm. Toast. There was a 1962 bits from Bucky Boy 2000 says, "Can Skin Dog be the next mascot of Taco Bell?" Yes, but without the bone. Got to be the final version that we, you know, edited, and not the version that God gave us. That was that one's not so appropriate for anything, let alone a Taco Bell commercial. Yo quiero skin.
It looked like a chicken breast.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's Cappy. When did you come up here?
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Cappers.
I've had Sagan asleep in my lap the entire thing.
Come
And
on.
he's been making my lap real hot.
Please come here. Cappy.
He says no. He says I'm not going to do that. Bucky Boy, thank you so much for the bits. And I hope your day is filled with Taco Bell. Filled. Like lunch and dinner.
No.
500 bits from Jam. He says, what's the most recent watch at lunch/dinner series, and what are the chances of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in the not too distant future? Next Sunday, AD do. I'm always excited to hear what you both think of various animes and shows. We haven't started a series yet. The next one we had talked about starting was Bebop.
Yeah.
And we never actually got around to watching it. If you want to call it a show, it's technically a show. We've been watching Explained. On Netflix. There's a show called Explained. I love that sort of content. That's just short-form documentary content. It's like my favorite thing to watch ever. And Explained is basically just that. It's like, let's pick a subject and just learn about it for 20 minutes. And I'm like, I love it. Let's do that. But that's almost done. And we've been pretty caught up on YouTube stuff because we watch various YouTube things. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I'm subscribed to a lot of that content also, like Tom Scott,
half as interesting.
I really like that sort of thing.
There's some more.
Anyway, Bebop might be the next thing. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is another one that I want to watch. I just haven't done it. Last week tonight. Yeah, last week tonight.
I've seen a lot of Bebop. I just don't know if I've seen it all and in order.
Yeah. Yeah. And for the longest time, we didn't start on a new series just because it was like, oh, well, we're getting ready to go to China. We're getting ready to do this, and we don't want to interrupt things, so we're just going to wait. But, like, we don't really have an excuse now. We should probably start a show. Maybe we will.
Come here, sweetheart.
Maybe we will. Anyway, Jam, thank you for the bits. And once we do start something, there'll definitely be, like, a review.
Yeah.
On the last thing I think we reviewed was the Rocco special.
Yeah.
The Rocco's Modern Life Static Cling.
Yeah.
That was the last thing. Existential Joker gives us up to Skin Dog, putting Skin Dog at 1 month.
Come on, Cappy.
At 12 months, Skin Dog earns its fur. It's exciting. Joker, thank you. The other thing I wanted to talk about is...
Will you call him up here?
Cappy, come here. Come here, bud.
Come on.
Come here. Or that way. That's a direction you can choose. Come here. Come here. I can't help you, man. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about is behind us. You may notice that things have changed a little bit. It's kind of sad to say this, but it's just necessary. We boxed up not every, but just about every Xbox and PlayStation game that we have. Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS2, PS3, PS4. They are boxed up and currently in cardboard boxes on my floor. And they're ultimately going to go into the closet up here, and they're labeled. And they're alphabetical in the box in case I need to get something. But we have to make room for Wii.
I think the tape fell off there and he's chewing on it.
Don't do that.
Come here, Kippy.
Don't do it. I'm going to click you.
Oh, I know what I finished watching recently.
Did you finish watching something?
I did. I watched a series of Unfortunate Events.
Oh, that's right.
Netflix
Yeah, you did.
Version. Because I had read the books when they came out. So I watched through it as I painted this last painting.
You liked it?
I did, very much. Patrick Warburton plays the narrator, Lemony Snicket. And I could just have Patrick Warburton narrate for me.
You could just
say soothing quotes about life and death.
You could just narrate your life.
That's a nice try, but not,
it was not very good.
No.
Not very good.
But I really liked the series. It was very well done, and it does diverge from the books a little bit, but it was well done. So
well, that's good. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. I was still talking about the stuff. We boxed up all of the stuff to make room for Wii games on the shelf. The entirety of the shelves behind us will eventually be Wii games.
Yeah.
Since we're trying to work on that for
Extra Life
next year. And we currently have about, I'd estimate probably about 450 is probably what we have. So we have about 450 Wii games, and there's like 1269 is how many there are. There's almost 1300. So we're like a third of the way there.
Okay.
So we're getting there.
I mean, if you think about it, we have how many of these shelves? 6?
Uh-huh.
And we're not even finished with 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't do it. Don't say anything to make me regret my decision. Just encourage. Just encourage. Only encourage. People liked the 1269 number. It used to be 1268. And then Just Dance 2020 came out. So yes, the library will end on 69 because of Just Dance 2020. And Joel asked, did you ever get Just Dance 2020? I did not. Because that's a new game, it's
full price.
It's full price, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait. So I'm gonna wait. That'll probably be like one of the very last games I pick up, because that way it'll be cheaper. You know, it'll be like the morning of Extra Life. I'll go to Player's Choice, and I'll be like, you have 2020 used, cheaper now. But the good thing about the Wii library is, you know, the titles are generally really cheap. There's just a lot of them. But there are still some
when
expensive titles. When we were
moving these around, we were like, what even is this game?
Yeah. And I continue to say that. So, there's just so many.
What is it? Let's Play Ballerina?
There's a game called Let's Play Ballerina.
I'm so excited. And it uses the balance board?
It does use a balance board.
Gippy.
Yeah. And we're going to try and make sure we have all the peripherals and stuff as well. So that means having the U-Draw tablet, which we have, the balance board, which we have, the Tony Hawk skateboard, which we have. There's a special dance pad that has 2 ups and 2 downs and 2 centers.
And 1 left and 1 right.
And there's only like 3 games that use it?
Yeah.
We have it. So yeah, and Helena says, what about the drum set? I have a Rock Band full band thing for the 360. And I need to look up
to see if it'll work.
Yeah, I suspect it is. Like, it's all USB, and I was thinking about it, and like, yeah, I know things plugged into the bottom of the Wii remote controllers, but when it comes to having the full band, the way they generally did it is you had a little like USB hub, and things plugged into the hub.
So he doesn't move Sagan. Come on. Hi, honey.
And Zach says, why not test it out? Because it's too hard. Because I'd have to get everything... All that stuff's at my parents' house, and like hauling the Rock Band guitar and the drum set and all that's a lot of effort. I'm sure it's online somewhere. I'm sure someone has written down whether that
works. Or not.
Like, I'm sure. And also, I can't imagine that it has to. It has to use USB. It has to. Like, I refuse to believe that the Rock Band drums for Wii plug into the bottom of a Wii remote. I just don't believe it. Like, there's no way. There's no way that works like that. Because again, if you have the full band, Missing No Leader says they don't. That sounds good enough for me. That's how Guitar Hero... Okay, but yeah, that's different, though. That's different. The Rock Band drums are a controller flat out. Well, on 360, they have a USB, and that just goes either into the system, which has USB slots, or a hub. So... We'll see. We'll see. It has to be a hub, because the only alternative... If every single peripheral plugged into the bottom of a controller, if everything did, you would have to have 4 controllers. You'd have to have 4 Wii remotes. So, oh god, Hala says our Rock Band drums had a slot for the Wii remote to fit into it. I don't like reading that.
Look it up. Maybe there's 2 versions.
I'm just saying, there's no part of me that wants to own Rock Band again
Maybe Roland has it and you can just borrow it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would tell him to hold on to them for me, and then I would borrow them, and then the store could have them back. And I think that would be fine. He would do that.
That would be fine.
Because, like...
They've said that we could borrow anything.
Yeah, they're like, if you need to borrow something for a video or something, let us know. And, I would not own that, because I do not need... I do not need 2 Rock Band drum sets. Dare I say I don't need 1.
Yeah.
I sure as heck don't need 2. Alex May gives a sub to SpiritTet93, putting SpiritTet at 12 months. Congratulations on a year. The triple plus has turned into a 1. Also got 100 bits from Coco P Crabs. Or Cocop Crabs. I like them both. Crabs, thank you. Got 503 bits from the Chemist 2020. Hey, Stephen Amau, I just wanted to again say thank you for everything you guys do. I've been streaming more often after getting my start from watching you guys, and today I'm planning on recording my first non-game video. I would have never done any of this had I not started watching the channel. The video I'm recording today is more Malmakes-esque in that I am recording a Metal Earth project with a webcam and on my desk in front of one of my monitors. Well, I'm glad to have been a forceful push into creativity. Yeah. That's, I mean, if anytime people tell me that, then I'm like, awesome. Awesome. I want people to explore their creativity, their artistic side, find ways to express themselves, and if I am some sort of push in that direction for people, then I am very happy to be that. Yeah. The world needs more art and more artists. So go forth and create, and good luck with your streaming, and certainly good luck with the video that you're making today. That's awesome. 510 bits from 05 Nataku says, me again, watching with my cat while wishing I could work on the things I'm making you. Sadly, after a fail last June, I've been fighting a painful shoulder that won't improve and impedes my ability to use my right hand and arm. Trying to craft a thing with only one hand is hard. Anywho, Corgi bits for you guys, because Cowboy Bebop. That's right, there's a Corgi. I think that's why Reed has a Corgi.
They've had that Corgi a long time.
Not older than... Do you know how old Cowboy Bebop is?
Yeah. But, like... I'm just saying.
I think that might be... That might be why.
Maybe.
I don't know. You'd have to ask Reed. I don't know. Can't speak for Reed. Anyway...
Ruby's a cute dog.
Yeah, she's old now.
I know she is.
She's an old pup.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Nataku, thank you for the bits, and I hope that you feel better. Obviously, don't feel obligated to, like, work on anything like that. Take your time. There's literally no rush at all. We got 500 bits from Jam, who says, scientific fact, if you stack all those Wii games flatly on top of each other, 14 millimeters each, they'll be 57.414 feet tall, or tall enough to kill you with Wii games if it falls over, so do not attempt. It's not how I want to die. Willing to die? Not by that. Not by that. Definitely better ways. Definitely better ways to die than looking at a 57-foot tower of Wii games and then being immediately crushed by them. I will be sure to not attempt that. But they'll be on the shelf behind us. And as we continue to open mail and get Wii games from you guys, and then also pick them up from Player's Choice and other stores that we find, you will see in Breakfast Stream, actually,
the shelves getting fuller.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And even after they fill up the background, it'll still change, because the titles, like, we might pick up some titles that are or something, and it'll push everything down, so the titles themselves are going to be changing. So you're gonna see lots of changes in the background over the next year. Mm-hmm.
Do you see this cat?
I do. He seems surprisingly comfortable. Hi, bud. Good boy. Good boy.
He's purring.
And I think we're all set.
Yeah. Did the music stop?
Didn't stop.
Oh, I see.
It's one of them quiet C418 songs. I jumped ahead to where it's less quiet. Because I like it. Go. I like it when it makes the noise.
Good boy.
Just trying to think of one other thing I wanted to talk about. real quick before we end off. Vlogs soon.
Yeah, you only have 2 more days left of China.
Yeah, and I haven't released any in a few days because I've been in the middle of a several-day-long
archiving project that you need to do before you can do anything else because you don't have any space left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little depressing. I'm not gonna lie. It's just because I feel most productive when I'm working on videos. Like whenever I get a video done, and I finish a vlog, and I'm like, "This, I made a thing. Look at this, I have a thing." That's how I feel productive. So when I'm doing nothing but transferring data for days, it's not ideal.
Yeah.
It's not like my favorite way to spend time, but I'm getting somewhere. In fact, it's still it transferred overnight, and it has like another
I can't see it.
half hour, and then we'll be getting somewhere. Your Solar says, I know I contacted you previously about unlimited Google Drive space. For some reason, I have that, but it's not available to the public. No, I don't. I appreciate the offer. I've got things. I have a system. I've got a series of external drives that I'm putting stuff on, and like the issue really is not having space, because I have drives, or I could buy a drive and just be like, boom, just put stuff on it, get it out of my life. The thing that's really happening here is finally, after years of not doing this, getting all of the files in one place, because they've never been in one place.
Some used to be on discs, some were on Blu-rays, some were on hard drives.
That's really where the time-consuming portion has been happening, is finding all the files, because they've been in a million different spots, organizing them correctly by year, making sure I have every single little thing, so I'm not missing anything that we've ever made, and then ultimately having redundancy, because a lot of these things have never been redundant. So those are the big things. And like, if I just wanted this to go away, then I would move a bunch of stuff to an external hard drive overnight, and I'd get back to work. But like, it's just,
it needs to be done at some point, and you might as well do it.
Yeah, and I might as well do it now.
Yeah, and you have the backups are going to be kept off-site.
Yeah.
So you will have a set of the files here and a set at like your parents'.
Yeah. But you Schiller, I appreciate it. I appreciate the offer. It's a work in progress, and it's going really well. It's just been really interesting to revisit everything, because we're doing files before the vlog. We're doing stuff I made in college. We're doing stuff I made in high school.
Okay, bye.
All sorted by year, and that's all done. That was the easy part, because there were so few of it.
Yeah.
It was like, well, how many videos did I make in 2009? Or, 2000, like a big year for me was 2005 or 6 or something. It's like, oh, wow, look at that. We made 40 videos. And I'm like, hold my beer. Because a lot of the last few years, we've made 1,000 videos every year. Obviously, the scope of the videos were a little different. It's different between, making a Let's Play video and making like some sort of production thing, but still. Doodle says 2001. Yeah, so I've got everything going back each year, and every year has a folder, and it goes back to the folder that says just 2001 and older. I got a video camera in 2002, so I have projects that started in 2002. 2001 and before is some other things, like we ripped a bunch of VHS tapes of Mallory's childhood. We have more of those to do. Yeah, we did that a few years ago, and we did that to give to her parents, but I kept everything, when I did all the ripping, I kept everything sorted by date for each individual video, which is really smart. Good job, past me. And so that's all shoved into the 2001 and before folder. I also have the first Starman.net convention, even though I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Just because their lead designer at Fangamer is John K. If you've ever bought anything from Fangamer, there's a good chance you bought something that John K. made.
Yeah.
And I'm good friends with John K. He came to visit in 2008, and when he visited, he has, I think, maybe the only VHS copies of the first and second Starman.net conventions, and he was like, I want you to digitize these because these aren't digitized anywhere. And I was like, okay, because I had the stuff to do it. So I did it. So I have the first and second Starman conventions, which were on VHS tape, and I made them into, digital files. So that's in there. So technically none of my stuff is in the 2001 folder. Because I don't have anything.
What about the video from you when you were very little, like at the pool?
That is sorted into
the vlog day where you did that?
Yeah,
okay.
It's 2014 or something. Just because that's where it was in the vlog. But yeah. Yeah. So that's been interesting. It's been interesting. 300 bits from MTAN says, just remember that since you need to get the archiving done, the more that you get done will mean the longer amount of time you have before you have to do it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I've been really careful in 2019 to have things separated out. So, I had the forethought to do this when 2018 ended. I was like, instead of continuing to dump everything into a big folder, I'm going to separate this out. And, this will be 2018. And when I start 2019, I'm going to make sure that, all the first 20s and all the memorable moments that we release are just in their own thing. They're not mixed in. So, I've definitely had the subconscious notion to do this for a long time. I've just never actually done it. And it really sucks to take the time to do this, but my God, if it doesn't happen now, it may never happen.
Yeah. And
it's really vital that it gets done. So, yeah. I don't regret doing it.
No.
It's
just taking up time.
It's just taking up a lot of time, and it just sucks because, China's almost done.
Yeah.
When China gets finished, there's going to be a huge sprint to catch up.
Because there's not
a whole lot between...
I know Extra Life happened, but that's not
it's so
vlog.
Small.
Yeah.
It's so
because
small.
we were streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, still working on that today. And it's going to be crazy because when I'm done, I'm going to get... Trying to think of all the terabytes I'll get back.
All the terabytes.
I'll probably get 15 terabytes back. Something like that.
Do you have stuff on my computer? On my RAID?
I do, but it is backups of the 2018 vlogs that aren't done yet.
Okay.
Yeah. That is redundant. Okay. I have that and you have that.
Okay.
Just because when I do get around to doing those vlogs, I want to make sure that the footage is all there.
Yeah. And
that actually took a long time. That's a lot of footage there because I have the dash cam footage of the entire drive to Maine and back.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird, but anyway. Haram says, get it on the cloud. Too expensive. It's a good phrase.
That's a good Nightbot command. What time is it here?
Oh, yeah.
For people who don't know exactly when New York time is compared to theirs.
Yeah. Jam says, wait, why? Okay, real quick, and then we'll end. Because we're over time today a little bit. I have a lot of people telling me, and have told me, that I should have my stuff in the cloud. And you're right. You're absolutely right. That would be the best situation. There he goes. Thanks, MTAN. I will promise I'll keep it brief. Really brief. The problem is it's too expensive. It's just simply too expensive.
What about server space?
What
Could that work?
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Okay, that's what I thought. What you're describing is, could I have a personal server?
Yeah.
That's not different than just
cloud space.
No, that's different because it's off-site. Cloud space would be off-site, and a server would be here.
No, you can buy servers in other locations.
That's the cloud.
Okay.
That's the same thing. Grandma. Listen, I can't do anything about stuff in the cloud because it's too expensive. What I use right now is Backblaze, which is a great deal. It is $60 a year for as much as you can connect to a computer, which is amazing. The problem is there's only so much physical space inside a computer, and I'm running out. And I could theoretically buy a brand new tower, build a computer that all it did was go to Backblaze with a ton of drive bays, buy the biggest drives that I could find, and it would last me a while. I could do that. But I'm not going to do that. Because that requires a great deal of effort as well. If I was just using cold storage, which is what would be ideal because I upload it and I just forget about it. It's in Google Cold Storage and they just store it. The problem is, even though it's really cheap, I have enough data that it's going to be a lot of money. Like this year alone, like storing everything for a year, it would probably be like $700 to $800, and then every year it would increase because we keep making more stuff. And the stuff we're making now is bigger than ever. I mean, huge. So next year, it wouldn't cost us $700 or $800. It'd probably cost us $1,000. And then it would cost us $1,300. And then it would cost us $1,700. Like every year, because the file sizes are getting bigger, that's what's happening. So that's why we don't use the cloud. That's why we don't use cold storage. And that would be single-handedly the best thing for us. We wouldn't even have to have local backups here. We wouldn't need it, but it's just too expensive. So that's why we've been using external drives, because they are super cheap, super cheap. And once you have it, you have it. And it's not an offsite backup, but I've been just making 2 of each drive, and one of the drives will go to like my parents' house or Dan's or something. So yeah. Anyway, that's the short version. And it's not that the cloud is a bad idea. It's literally the best idea. Yeah. It's just not affordable. I wish it were. I wish this stuff was cheaper to hold on to, but yeah. And like Brandon says, Backblaze is fine. And the thing is, I can keep Backblaze. And I will. So when I empty off all of this data, I'll put like 2019. I'll have 2019 on the drive too, but I'll have 2019 on Backblaze. And then when 2019's over, I'll remove it, keep it on drives, and then 2020 will start being put onto Backblaze. So I'm going to keep that. But that's going to be how it works. And maybe at some point in the future, I'll build that theoretical computer that has 8 drive bays, and each bay is 16 terabytes.
Or things will get a lot cheaper.
They're going to have to get a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
A lot cheaper before I would consider that. But anyway, that's my reasoning. 500 bits from Jam says, actually my confusion is why you still have the full dash cam footage. Oh, but that turned into a fun story and it made breakfast stream even longer, which is fun. I love all Twitch Grandpa stories. The reason we have all the dash cam footage from the drive is just because that was still during the time when we were
doing the time lapses.
Yeah, using the footage. Since then, holding on to dash cam footage, especially when vlogs are behind, is impossible. It's way too big. And also, I find that we're just really not using it that much.
Yeah.
And now we can't use it.
Yeah.
The dash cam is actually dead. I don't know if I told people that. Might be our car. We're not sure. Might be both. I don't know. But the dash cam is,
Yeah.
something's wrong. I'm not sure what exactly. But, yeah. It's not great. We thought that there was something wrong with the car, and there was.
Yeah.
And we thought that would fix the dash cam.
It didn't.
But it didn't. And we're like, oh, so maybe the dash cam is just messed up.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got a lot of use out of it, but I'm not going to worry about a new dash cam until a new car. Once we get a different vehicle, then I'll figure it out, because I like having one for insurance purposes. I'll just be careful not to wreck. That's how that works, right? Just be very careful. Okay. All right, we're done. thank you, folks, for being here. I hope that your Tuesday is wonderful. If you haven't seen Mal's full version of Banjo-Kazooie, it's out now. It's really good. It was her longest painting ever. It took her 55-plus hours. It's worth watching. And we will be back on Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't have any vlogs to post. Hopefully soon. So nothing else of interest. I guess we'll just see you Thursday. And there'll be a gaming stream on Friday night. We don't know quite what it'll be yet, but there will be something on Friday. But we'll see you Thursday in the meantime.